Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday evening. Happy weekend to you. And happy Saturday morning to you, those on the other side of the planet. And excited, as always, see what Spirit wants to bring through for us today in this reading. And let me get my desktop all situated here, and we will get into it. All right. I think we're good there. All right. And it's just to make sure YouTube is saying that we are. Hope you're wello. Hello. Well, hello. I haven't got the email from, but obviously, hi. You guys can hear me and see me okay. Oh, I got my singing bowl right here. So before we get into everything, let's send some love out to the world and bring love into these readings, into the session. And whether you're watching live or on replay, you can join me in doing that. And so we'll start off by taking a big, deep breath and coming back to right here, right now, letting the outside world fall away. So big, deep breath in. Release. Beautiful. And of course, as we hit the singing bowl, we let love flow into us, fill us up, and flow out to the world. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Singing bowl back to sleep here. All right. So, scooch in a little bit more here. And I know I love that singing bowl. It just almost go off somewhere else. Yeah, it's just wonderful, wonderful energy. So glad you guys enjoy it too. Thank you for letting me know that. And before we get into the readings, July monthlies came out early this morning. So if you haven't had a chance to check those out, there's the link for that, for the playlist for each individual zodiac sign. And that, of course, includes the astrological Zenergy for the month that Spirit wanted me to focus in on, which gives us like a weather forecast of the energy so we can ride those waves. And then we also this week had a pick a card. I have one every week, and this week's was all about Cancer season coming up. So we have all the Cancer sun babies. Happy early birthday to you. It's the 20th. I'm just doing it a week early because next week we've got some great pick a cards, and then also the solstice readings will be coming out on the 20th, which are going to be relationship readings. So keep an eye out for those. And all of my Praying Mantis and Zen Cricket members, you have advanced access to those already. So, and then, of Of course, every week we have a new podcast for my weekly podcast, which is From Chaos to Cozy. And we've been talking about the mental kid self. And then the one coming up this Sunday is going to be, because we talked about the week before, the emotional inner child, which is formed first, and then our mental child, and then the physical teenage kind of kid self of our physical body. So that was fun. Also, if you haven't checked out your June monthlies yet, those are still available. Of course, here's the playlist for that. And I think that's good for now. All right. So I think that's good. All right. So, for those of you that are new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. And of course, thank you for all of my returnees. And shout out to one of my YouTube channel members, Johanna. I'm not going to pronounce your last name. I'm just going to say Johanna. So we've got, you'll see their names in green with the badge. So thank you for being a monthly YouTube channel member. It's those individuals, those that have donate, of course, and those who purchase my services. Because of you guys, I'm able to do everything that I do and offer all the free things that I do. That's why I try to make sure everyone is aware of all the free things that are out there. I know. I try. Yeah, you have some catching up to do, huh? And then I also, I just put out another From Chaos to Cozy episode for my I think it's for a week from this Sunday. So I'm getting caught up. I fell behind when my host went into surgery, and so it threw me off and behind. But I've catched up, and I think I'm getting way ahead now. So so take your time. We got plenty that are coming out. So like I said, if you're new to my channel, how the readings work, the free readings are first come, first serve. We just move down the list in order. If you don't put your business out there, you can just put the general reading. Oh my gosh, I'm just kind of like distracted. It's one of those cloudy, overcast days. You're just like, just feel like I'm cozy, chatting with my friends, drifting all over the place as per usual. But anyway, um, so you just put general reading if you don't want to put your business out there. And if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that donation, and I prioritize those, and I step out of the free readings, complete those, dive deeper. I pull more cards for the donations, and then I return back to the free readings, and usually one or two card readings for the free readings. And yeah, and if you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat, or in the description box of the video has my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. And whatever dollar amount you want to make, I know everyone gives what they can, and I honor that, because I know everyone's finances vary from day to day, person to person, country to country, and so I just honor it. So thank you guys. I am going to use to the Star Tarot for this session. Kind of just been changing them up every couple sessions because I have so many. I've got, you see these two, but there's two next to it. Those are all tarot. And then I've got these down here, up here. Got all those over there are oracle. Yes, I need an intervention. I still have it written on my list to think of a wish list, Johanna. But I don't know. Do I really need any other cards? It doesn't stop me from getting more. I have more charms on the way too. I don't know if I mentioned that. I've started using charms, and I ordered letters, numbers, and zodiac signs, and relations like brother, sister, mother, father, uncle, etc. because I'm going to bring those in and we're going to have some fun, interesting readings. Like maybe we'll do, I can use them for love readings and I can use them for past lives or different things like that too. So I'm excited to kind of mix things up a little bit. I know, but I've got to find a way to, I might like get a big piece of, like black cloth or something. And then for readings, you guys don't need to see me all the time. I can put those down and so you can see them up close. So we can do that. So we can try that. Spirit name, soul name. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Your spirit name is it's like if you ever saw The Mermaid, the one with this is called Splash, and it goes, "What's your name?" Kiwi, and it because it was a different language and it blew up glass. That's probably our real spirit names. All right, let's focus. bruddaZEN, come here. So we'll get started. I have a few donations. We'll start with those, and then if I don't have any other donations, we'll start into the free readings. So Johanna, thank you so much. You're up first. So thanks for that donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. All right. So we'll take a look here, right? All right. So let's take a look here. So has the mighty it crossed her mind? Let's take a look here. The big it. I was like, do you think she wants to get into IT, information technology? I just don't know. I don't know if it's her thing. I think she's more of an artist. But a bunch. We've got the Six of Pentacles on the bottom. So the Six of Pentacles does show me the giving and receiving and the going back and forth. That's kind of leaning to a yes here, but we'll see what the other cards are here. Yeah, I know. She's more right brain than left brain, or whichever one is the other one. Yeah, Two of Wands. So I do feel like with the Two of Wands, there's that equal passion. When you get the balance of things on either side, those really stand out for me here. And the Eight of Cups. So again, as I'm saying that, I'm like 2, 6, 8s. There's like equal emotion, passion, equal giving and receiving. The Knight of Pentacles. So we do have the slowest knight, so it is not wanting to rush into anything, but I feel like there is the feelings and stuff there kind of holding back. Yeah. And then another one. Don't say the slowest. Well, it is. Cuz it's the fire horse, the wands horse is the fastest. And then the mind and emotion, those of course go faster because things really, but it's the outside world. There's seasons, right, that come in with all that. So, and here we're changing the seasons here in a week on June 20th. So eh, it's all relative. But we've got the Six of Swords. So you've got Pentacles, Wands, Cups, and Swords. So all four suits you have here represented, and they're equal, on each side. So equal thinking, equal motion, equal passion, equal giving and receiving in the outside world. So it's all there. And then you have the Empress, which is new birth, sensuality, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, but new birth and harvest and um, the divine feminine energy. So it's all there. So I would say that is a big yes. that it's also um, has crossed her mind because um, and especially here, which makes sense. It's especially emotion because you got the 8 of Cups. And then the mind and then the outside world are sixes. So that's like in second, they tie for second and on each other's minds, wanting to give and receive, which giving gifts and while you're receiving something from them, that makes sense. And the 2 of Wands, it's like not a ton of passion, passion, passion. That's, it's kind of more the emotional connection, which makes sense. It makes me reminds me of like my best friend that I had. It was out of care and heart and uh, that things spawned from there, and it was like so I get it. I get it with that. So I like it. So that's what's coming in there. Yeah, and it's just like it just felt natural. It didn't felt, you know, like it was something wrong or pressured or whatever. It just kind of just unfolded. And it was like, oh, okay. So it's just like enjoy someone for who they are and enjoy. That's what I my nudge from spirits advice. All right, so that's what they have for that. Thank you again so much for your donation. Appreciate that. Now I did go watch that video too that you mentioned from Ariana, and it was an interesting video. I liked it because I love her anyway. She's just got such a beautiful heart um, that comes in there. Cats and a lot of cats, yeah. So I loved it. It was very good. So thank you for recommending that because I hadn't seen it yet. All right. And then, so we're Bobby, you are up next. Let's give your donation some love and a like. Appreciate that. And you'd like love message cards from Shandu, or I might be mispronouncing that. And no communication. What do they want to tell you? All right. Let's take a look here. What would they want to tell you? So they want that. Come on. There we go. And what else? So do you want those? That one. That one's last, though. They want that one, and that one. Okay. All right. Well, these kind of together, but kind of not. But we'll see here. So, okay. Well, the bottom of the deck here, we have the star card coming in here. And the star card is, it's this Aquarian energy. Sometimes it's the wish come true, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, but it's Aquarius energy, and I feel it coming through strongly here. And being a Aquarius sun and having friends who are married to Aquarius and people with children who are Aquarius, everyone's like, they don't have much emotion. And I go, well, we do. And it depends on the rest of your chart too, but Aquarians are water bearers, but they're air signs. And that's the quirkiness of who we are. Because you're like, well, why is your symbol water bearers if you're an air sign? And it's like, well, we carry water and we're able to communicate, but we are able to compartmentalize emotion. And that's what happens is like I usually joke that we have a little like a refrigerated unit in our heart where we keep all of our emotions in Tupperware so they're nice and fresh. They're stored away. All you have to do is ask for some. People go, one of my friends, she's married, she goes, I just have to ask my husband every once in a while, hey, can I have some emotion? And I feel like that's important for you to know with them is that would be something that you would always have to be comfortable with, is that they don't readily share their emotion a lot, and that's the underlying energy. Then you have 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, 1 card. It's like 1, 2, 3, 1. It's like, this progression, and then it's a start over. And so we'll see what this all means here in a minute. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. So there is this pausing and this slowness that happens with this. And, when we, see this kind of cards come up when regarding, love relationships or romantic relationships, or other things too, but it means that things are slowed down on purpose so that you can look at yourself and raise your low vibration, that this other person looks at their selves. And so there's this, thinking and contemplation, and it gives us the space to be able to learn what we are wanting to learn in this mirror that's come into our life, and what they want to learn on this mirror that's come into their lives, right? And then we have here the number 2 here, we got the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is about new opportunities opening up in the outside world, and the Queen of Cups can represent a very emotional individual. Let's see what this means here, because I'm like, is this them diving deep into their emotions? And this is that new opportunity for this, or is this someone? So let's look at these 3 cards. They kind of came out like separate, but corners on one another. So they're kind of related to each other. We've got Justice, which this is balancing of their fears and seeing things from a different perspective, really trying to figure out what they want in their lives. The Knight of Wands. So they do have their passions are running wild. I usually look at the Knight of Wands like, a little chihuahua that's so hyper it's running around humping everyone's legs. So we'll see what that is here. Yeah, and then they have the Lovers card. Let's see what this last card is too. Yeah. So we've got the 3 of Swords coming in here. So, so Arup, I feel like with all of this that there's this, you know, I just feel like they're drawn to someone else with this, the Lovers and the Knight of Wands and the balancing out. The 3 of Swords is about disappointment and the feelings of heartbreak. So I feel like what they'd want to tell you is that they didn't want to break your heart or hurt you, but in a way there's this, I I don't know. It's They're saying this, and now this is, our own perception. Like, I can't help myself. I can't control myself. I have this, energy, this, that I haven't found this balance. They're trying to find a balance, but they just have this pattern where I keep, you know, I get interested in someone, I invest a little bit, I get freaked out, and then I don't want to be like caged or, suppressed. I need to be free. This Knight of Wands just feels like this giant phoenix, that's flying up here. It's like I can't be caged. I don't want to be a caged phoenix or a caged being, but they just feel like it's a pattern of what they have here. They just go in circles all the time of, you know, they get interested in someone, they like, I'm going to change, I'm going to be different, but then they just, because they're so have such a low self-worth, that they can't give something to someone else that they can't have for themselves, right? So if I don't love myself, or if I love myself this much, this is how much I can give love to others. That's what I feel like they don't have a whole lot, but they also can't receive a whole lot of love from others. And so when they're with someone and they're interested, the love they get, it's like, well, maybe it'll grow, but it doesn't have to do with that, because if my like if I love myself this much, no matter how much love you want to give me, it's just going to trickle in. And I'm going to be like, well, I don't have enough. Let me try over here. They give me love. Trickle, trickle. And they're in this kind of desperation, this um in this way of looking at, like, the way it feels is, since I can't have love, attention, physical attention, intimacy, sex, whatever, is how they define their lovability and who they are, because they were taught emotions, no, attention, touch, yes. That's what tells you you are. And that's all they know. They don't know this language of love and emotion and devotion and kind of stuff that comes in. So that's what they would wanna tell you, is that I can't help myself, and I can't give you something I don't have for myself, and if I can't be honest with myself, I can't be honest with you either. So, I just feel like they've been in this cycle for a long time. I don't feel like they're gonna be breaking that cycle for a long time either, unless they go get, like, professionals, counseling help. I just feel like they're, just constantly in that cycle, they don't break it. So hopefully, I know we care for people, and I know it's hard to consider leaving, and going a different direction. But if you're willing to wait, you're much more patient than I am. But in the meantime, you can focus in on your self love, your thoughts about love, your own self worth and self love. And I feel like when you do that, and they're having very little, if no contact with you going forward, even, that eventually even they will overdraft your huge patience bank account. And you're just like, all right, I'm done. So I feel like you can learn through it for a little while longer if you want, but I don't feel like it'll be too much longer before you'll just go, okay, I'm going to choose me, and I'm going to do what's right for me. So so hang in there, Swaroop, and thank you again for your donation. Sending you lots of love. All right, and then lovely Lovey, hello again. Good to see you, and thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your lovely adventures. Let's see what we got. Let's give you a little shovel. Sorry, that was really loud. What was the reasoning behind why the adjuster left the meeting today? All right. What happened? Why did they leave the meeting? Okay. All right. Well, let's see what happens here. What are these here? All right. Well, we got the Princess of Pentacles on the bottom, the Page of Pentacles. And that means there's a new, something new happened in the outside world. Like, hello, hello. Second question written, please. What was the reason behind that just left the meeting today? Okay, yeah. So I see that, and then you have the other one. Why didn't they do their job today? So we can do both of those. We'll combine them together. I feel like they're kind of here anyway. But it's like there's this the Princess of Pentacles, is there's something that happened in the outside world that took them in a different direction. Um, and there was some sort of conflict that happened that they had to go take care of. Like some sort of urgent, I don't want to say an emergency, but it felt like urgency, not emergency, but there was something that came up was urgent, and they had to go, because we had the 10 of Wands, which is a lot of energy being invested in this, that they had to go. There was like something that was, um, And it's interesting because the 10 of wands usually will tell us that there are things that are important in our life that aren't urgent, and then there's urgent things that are not important, and then there's important and urgent thing. And I feel like this is what that 10 of wands is saying, is that they were like, they kind of looked at everything and said, I know this is important, but this thing that called them away, I feel like is an important, urgent thing that had to be handled. And so they took off, whether it's personal or business or something there. So I don't see child indications here or anything like that, like a child at school, got in a fight or something like that. I just feel like there's something that they got called away that was like super urgent to happen here. I feel like, with the 6 of Pentacles, this is like the balancing of they usually have scales on there. It's the balancing of things and also the Justice card. So we've got a couple balance things that things will come back around here. We got you know, seeing things from a higher perspective, balancing out of information and fears and all that. So I feel like it will uh end up coming around and you'll end up being happy about it. We got the 4 of wands, which is joy and celebration and positivity card here. So ultimately, I feel like things work out and you'll be happy with the outcome. But I just feel like there was some stuff that happened that just took them away. Um, and not to like minimize the whatever they were auditing or adjusting or whatever they were like, there just was something that they had to go to help someone else, that was very, like I said, important and urgent. So, that's what we have, coming in there. So hopefully that helps a little bit, but I like that it ends in joy, and that's the like the physical reason. Now, of course, there's always the reason why the humans are doing what they're doing. There's always like below the surface, right? And behind the scenes and being directed from above. And for that, when we look at the, bottom of the deck, we do have, you know, the 9 of swords and the 5 of pentacles that comes in. And this is the 9 of swords is facing our fears, right? Our nightmares and insomnia. The 5 of pentacles is about transformation of our worth and how we see and move our feelings of lack or being abandoned or left behind or not supported, and how it changes and transforms around too, where it's like things happen and whatever triggers within us, we're like, oh look, there's a trigger, yay, let me look at that. What's at the root of that fear, right? Of, oh, okay, so we can have feelings of like abandonment. How dare they abandon me like my mom did in the store, in that grocery store, or um, you know, why do they think I'm not important? If this was something for me, it was important for them to be there for me, but they disappeared. Why? Why? It's about my worth, right? And then we're like, you know what? Okay, so this everything is always for us, right? And so when we look at something, we're like, oh, okay, I see. So this was for me to face this trigger and go, this isn't about me. This, whatever they're doing was to help someone that was urgent. Just like if I had something important and urgent, I would want them to leave whatever they were doing to come to me too. So, okay, I get it. I'll give some leeway because this wasn't about me. And this is just a story that was being created in my head. And then I can transform that, and that trigger won't come up as much the more I question it and look at the root of it. So I like that though. It's always transformative and freeing. So you're very welcome and good to see you. Thank you again for your donation. I appreciate that. All righty. So we'll continue moving down the list. Got Patty. Hey, Patty. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to another one of my YouTube channel members. And HTTPS, hello to you too. So two of my YouTube channel members. So welcome. Thank you guys. So let's give that a love and a like there, Patty. And let's see here. If you were to start looking for another job, would you be successful? Any guidance from spirit on what sort of job will give you fulfillment? I know, right? Sometimes we wish we would get a scroll from heaven and it would just tell us everything that we're, you know, would be great for us for a job and career and our what's our soul mission? Where's that damn Akashic record book? Can't you just let me borrow it just for a day? I'll make photocopies. I'll give it back, I swear. But thus, life's a little different than that. I'm just gonna take a sip here. Got some mushroom coffee. Supposed to be good for you. We'll see if it energizes. See if my eyes get really big if I start seeing things, right? So let's see what guidance here. Will you be successful? All right. We got the bottom of the deck. So we do have the Four of Wands, which is joy and celebration. So, you finding another job, you definitely have success and because it's a joyful experience here for you. And what else about that? Yeah, and you got the full card too, which is a new journey, starting a new adventure. So you definitely would be successful in finding a new job. But this one is, I like the way they have this because, well, this is the star deck, which is all about the star card is dreams come true. So there's going to be stars all over the place. But you got a star up ahead, which is shining on here. And, you know, when it comes to, fulfillment, that's the whole thing with, I love spirit and that there's no wrong choice. I used to like get so anxious about, and I used to like just stop, and be like, um, wouldn't be able to decide on things because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to make the wrong choice. And so I stood there not making a choice. And it's like, oh, okay, And eventually, when spirit was, I think I told you the story of like the grandfather or grandparent going to the playground and like, go play. We're here to play and to enjoy ourselves. And sometimes we don't know. Like when we go to the playground, we don't know if we're like, are we going to, go to the swings, the slide, the merry-go-round, the seesaw? What am I going to enjoy the most? And creators like, I don't know, go try them and you'll know. And it's like, okay. So it's like, well, what have I experienced in my life that made my heart feel full and what made my heart, feel like it's dancing and singing? It's like, okay, that gives me a hint on the kind of things that makes my heart feel full. And it's like, okay, so what kind of jobs are related to that or careers, or is there something I could create to do that and get paid for it, right, at the same time? So I like that. And yeah, let's see what else we have here. Yeah. So we've got the Hanged One, which is, of course, seeing things from a higher perspective. Here we go. And a transformation. And I feel like we head off in a direction, right? It's like, well, I kind of think it's this way. And we just start going there and we explore as things unfold. And we do have the Five of Pentacles that came out with that, which is, sometimes we have like money and worth and stuff attached to that keeps us, well, I can't make money with that. And it's like, well, but that's not our dream, right? When our dream isn't to make money. And there's this great let me grab it over here somewhere. Let's see here if I can uncover it here. There's this great quote by, I think it's Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, however you say his last name. That says you are present when what you're doing is not primarily a means to an end, like money, prestige, or winning, but it's fulfilling in itself. When there is joy and aliveness in what you do. And that's the whole thing is like if we're looking for a career as a means to an end of money and da 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 da, those things are not gonna fulfill us anyway. They'll just we're told that they will, but what fills us is when we're doing what we are and expressing that unconditional love in our heart with the world. And here's this little zap, this came out with those cards too. It's like here's the heart and here's all this stars and electricity and everything shooting out from it, which is yeah, that which just excites you and makes you, super like I said, excited and full. And when you realize that, then you're like, okay. And that's how I realized. I'm like, well, I love bringing messages from spirit and seeing how spirit transforms people's lives through their messages. I'm just the radio that tunes into the radio station and then plays the music that the radio station is playing. And when the music plays and people dance and are excited, I'm like, oh, I love this energy, right? And that's the same thing as like what brings you joy? What brings you fulfillment? And if you're like, I haven't found anything in my life that's made me feel full or whole, then you can look at, well, what have I done? Well, I don't want to do those things again. I'm going to try other things. And that's that whole adventure that we're on here. And I think I shared, checking out Sahara Rose's website, I am sahararose.com, if I didn't. And she has some good quizzes on there under purpose and the Ayurveda for the dosha energies, some other things on there. Just it helps you understand how you want to share. And then with the how, that can help nudge you in a direction. Like, for me, it's sharing. And so doing it, being out in public, presenting messages like this is a big piece of that, and recording the videos that I do. And so it's that you just realize that, and they'll give you two on one of the quizzes, because one of the ways is this, but one of the other, because I got two of them. My second one was teacher, and I do love to share knowledge, and that's what really nudged me to get back into writing and to create my podcast From Chaos to Cozy, because it's sharing the knowledge. And so I feel like that'll be, some hopefully some guidance on there for you. Yeah, the 10 of Pentacles, really looking at what do you feel would make your life feel full? Getting out of your head around the everything we're taught, right? Supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and must. Well, I need to have a partner and a home and a car and this much in the bank and this kind of job and blah 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 blah. We got all this opinion out there, but it took scraping all that away and putting it over here for a moment at least, and go, what makes me feel full, not what I check off in my brain, right? Yeah, and here you go. You've got the Prince of Wands is fast movement, passion. This is the quest for your passion with the Prince of Wands. And then you have the Chariot, the power of choice. And I always like that because, you know, we there's no wrong choice and we have the power to choose. And that's such a relieving thing when we realize there's no wrong career, there's no wrong job, there's no wrong way to express the unconditional love in our heart with the world from the creators and spirit's point of view. They're like, you're here to experience. How do you want to do it? It's like a little kid asking, you hand them crayons and a sheet of paper, and they're like, well, what should I draw? You're like, well, whatever you like. What's on your mind? What's in your imagination? They're like, no, what do I need to draw? And you're like, no, really, just whatever you want to do. Tell me what to draw. And you're like, okay, fine. Put your hand on it and draw around it and make a turkey. Okay. All right, now what do I do? And they're like, what do you want to do? they don't want us just to be a little robot that just does what they tell us. They're here to experience life through us. And in doing that, it's allowing us to be little mini creators. And so I just feel like it's zeroing in what has made your heart sing. And if nothing's made your heart sing, then we definitely want to look at different areas. So if you've been, well, I've been in IT and I've been in business and I've been in finance and this and that, it's like, oh, maybe try art. It's like, well, let's go to the other side of the brain, or try different avenues, agriculture, growing things, um, making clothing, what other creative things, pottery, and it's like, well, you know what has made your heart sing? I feel is a big question. So hopefully that helps, Patty. So hang in there. It'll come to you. All right. So that is what they have. And again, thank you so much for your donation. All right. And then HTTPS, thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. And messages from your spirit team. Let's see what we got here. All right. All right. Well, that's interesting. So you got those cards there. You got 2 and 2 and 2. And on the bottom of the deck, you got the 2 of Cups. So important relationship coming in here. So this is very much highlighted here about focusing in on important relationship or ships, but well, there's 3 here. Let's see what these are. But it is relationships seem to be like in the focus that they're bringing in here. Yeah. So you've got some confliction here with the 5 of Wands, and 5 of Wands is about moving our energy from something that's kind of combative or conflicting into something more loving. And the 8 of Cups that's here is about walking away from relationships and situations that no longer serve you. So, with this focus on relationships, it makes sense that as you're looking at them, you're going, what are not important? What are relationships that I'm investing energy into that I don't need to anymore? That are using a lot of my emotional energy, right? Those are the ones you give 80, 90% or 100%, some cases, right, of your energy into relationship and only get, um, 10, 20% back or nothing back, right? And you're keeping these relationships alive. And if you're like, you know what, I'm going to back off to 50%. And some of them you're like, you know what, I'm just taking it to 0. You're right. I know I need to let this go and I'm going to let it just go. I'm going to stop investing. If they reach out, I'll rethink it. But if they don't notice it, then, well, c'est la vie, oh, oh, boom, boom, bye bye. And so I feel like that's an important piece for you here because I feel like you're bringing back emotional energy to be able to invest in something emotionally here coming up. And we'll see if they tell us what that is here. What are these other 2 here? Yeah. So you have the 7 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. So the 7 of Pentacles in this case is talking about you've been investing the fruit that you're getting. You're like, what? I don't know. The 6 of Pentacles is that overgiving card where it's being aware of codependent relationships and this tendency to overgive in relationships where you give so much and feel you in order for you to feel you deserve so little. And we've talked about the 6 of Pentacles, and just in case this resonates for anyone else that's eavesdropping on your reading. which everyone's totally okay to do here. It's not a private reading. But here's the link to the 5 of 6 of Pentacles. It's episode 5 of Take 10 with Zen, which talks about, how we can bring this out of balance giving and receiving down to 1 to 1 instead of this. And that's why I feel like there is this, again, this evaluation of the amount of emotional energy I'm getting and how much I'm giving in relationships, and realizing this drive to overgive. Because in the codependent relationships, if you're an overgiver, you give and give and give until you're exhausted, then you continue to give until you're resentful. And then the person that's on the other end of that, we don't allow them to give to us, and so they end up giving to other people. And if it's a relationship, like a romantic relationship, then that can be affairs, that can be um, becoming a workaholic, spending a lot of time with their friends, or working out, or a hobby, or whatever. But we're not. No, no, we don't want you to invest it anywhere else. We want it just to put in this bank, and I will slowly withdraw from it throughout my life. That is not how it works with them. So it's important for you to look at that. Yeah. And you do. You have the World card, which is an ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures, and the Knight of Swords is movement of thought and belief and mindset and the change here. So there is this cycle that's breaking here with relationships that they're having come in here, because it is time, for it to happen. It is time for it to, be adjusted. And that can be, like I said, it can be romantic relationship. It can be with friends. It can be with family. It can be with coworkers, can be with our own selves in some situations too. So evaluating all of that. So that's what's coming in here. Um, Anything else here? I don't feel like there's any additional messages with that, but that's what they have for you right now, HTTPS. So hopefully that resonates. You big-hearted overgiver, you. But it's okay. It's okay to purge some, and you don't have to send out notifications. My friendship with you has been terminated. You don't have to do anything like that. You can just step back and then to see what happens too. Right. You're very welcome, and thank you again for the donation. All right. And then Rocky's World, thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. And so you wanted to know here, how does Roberto feel about you after you spent time together this past Wednesday? All right. Let's check in here into Roberto and their feelings. Feelings. After Wednesday. Okay. All right. Well. All right. Well, they tend to hide their feelings, do they? We've got the High Priestess coming in here as the energy underneath the surface. So that's a lot of hidden and unknown things, which it's like they keep it like stuffed down. Like, I can't let on. I gotta be cool. I gotta be. Shh. So we'll see what what hidden things are there that spirit wants you to know right now. But I I I think it's funny that try to, you know, act like it's not excited about things as they really are. They're just like, oh, play it cool. Don't overplay your hand. That's funny. It must be like um influence of brothers and uncles and dads. So let's take a look here. Yeah. So I've got the 3 of Wands and the Tower card that comes in here. And there's this fear here, I see that they're afraid, this Tower card is suddenness, and something gets removed out of your life suddenly, or the 3 of Wands is someone changes their mind and goes a different direction. And I feel like this has happened a lot in their life, where this is why they don't play their hand. And now I get it, because they're like, whenever I like something, it goes away. and so they're trying not to get too excited about it. It's like every summer in their childhood, they were like, "We're going to Disney World," and they're like, "We are." "No, we're not." And they're, "Oh," and it's like they always got their excitement up, and then things got taken away or things didn't come to fruition. So they're trying to not rush into something. Yeah, because this is the other card that came out with it, 10 of Pentacles, which is this feeling that they could see that you would make a wonderful, you know, partner, and it would be this wonderful fulfillment of life. They're like, "Wow, yeah, and like I can see myself with you," but it's like got to keep that on the down low because they're like, "No, no, you know what happens?" And so that's below the surface, and I don't even know if they're willing to like admit it to themselves in a way here. Yeah, and they have the Chariot card. So this is victory, this is movement. This is that the power of choice and the card of choice, between the black horse and the white horse, or in this case, the black Pegasus and the white Pegasus. And it's like um afraid to make a wrong choice. And this is that kind of thing that comes in, and so I feel like they're kind of in this choice being torn back and forth between, do I act more or not? Do I share or don't I? And I feel like they're just, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. That's so funny. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. Yeah, and I see it here. I mean, we've got this struggle they've got on the inside with this 5 of Cups, which is, this energy of battling between lower vibrational and higher vibrational emotion. The King of Cups comes in here because that's where I feel that they're torn. King of Cups is a great card of seeing someone as like very compatible, someone who's balanced their head and their heart. King of Cups and Queen of Swords, those are my 2 cards that represent like, oh my gosh, you're just like, we just mesh. You fit like a glove. And I just feel like they feel this, but they're also, again, those fears that going back and forth between this is what happens when I get too close, too fast, and I overshare. I got to be calm. I got to calm down. And this is them also trying to balance themselves out here. They definitely have a lot of passion with the 10 of Wands here. So there's a lot of physical and energetic attraction, and that's what they allow them to feel, right? And so it's like their outside life, committing in their outside life or committing emotionally are huge things for them. So they're like, okay, well, at least passion, I can express myself in passion. And I feel like if you look at your time that you spent together on Wednesday, that I feel like the energy that you felt and picked up, you picked up a lot of things and you weren't imagining it. And I feel like you're just like, okay, so I'm right about what I'm picking up, but I don't want to call them out. It'll scare them. You just kind of want it to simmer and let the deer or the rabbit approach you at its own. Otherwise, they'll get scared and run away in the forest. So it's like just stand there with the carrot or whatever you feed deer, and just allow them to come to you in their own timing. But they've got all that below the surface, which pretty awesome. But I feel like that's what's below there. They just got to get over this fear of that people leave suddenly and go different ways, and they just don't want to feel that abandoned feeling again. But it's as long as they have that fear of abandonment, guess what? You draw in abandonment. So we'll see what they do, right? But that's what they have for you right now, Rocky's World. So hopefully that helps. So many blessings to you. And Infinity, hello, hello. You're very welcome. And thank you for your donation. Let's give that some love and a like. Good to see you. Current energy between you and L. Absolutely. Let me just take a sip here. All right. All right. So current energy between you and L. Right. And then those. And those. That one. Okay. Interesting. Well, there's more Leo energy. All right. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Holy wow. Okay. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, we've got the King of Wands here. So the King of Wands, they really rule over their, this King of Wands energy. It's like Emperor. It's a lot of passion, but unlike the Knight of Wands, which is the little chihuahua that runs around humping everyone's legs, the King of Wands can really bridle their passion and really control it, no matter how much they have. Like they don't go to war. Like a prince will go over war, declare war, and get in fights and bar fights and whatever. The King of Wands is very patient, and they can ride their passions, the fire within them, right? And so they have that, and that's what I was saying. They got the lions on either side, like this Leo. This was on the surface here, and we got the strength card coming in here too. So this is Leo energy, and this is about them really consulting with their higher selves and this inner strength that they feel to keep this this all this passion, because we there definitely is this, it feels like there's this like energetic and physical attraction that's really there, because we've got the 10 of wands, a lot of energy, the magician, a lot of energy, and what was this one? This one was the 6 of wands, so a lot of energy too. So we definitely have all this passion and this connection and this desire for movement, but that King of Wands reminds me of the Emperor a bit too, which they're kind of like they're deciding, what do they want to do? How do they want to go forward? What is all this about? And it's like, come on now, what are you gonna do with all this? You gonna, do something about this energy, or are you gonna pop? What's gonna happen? Well, they've got the Hanged One, so they are going through transformation. They are going through this, change. And the 8 of cups is that they are letting go of, emotions that don't serve them anymore, and relationships with others that don't serve them anymore. So they are in this whittling through their emotions that are below the surface, and interactions with other people, and deciding this, of what they're doing with everything and everyone. um and ultimately, I'd feel like here, you know, the last card is the Full card, which is the first card in the major arcana, right? Follows the World card, which is letting go of old cycles, new cycles starting, new adventures. And the Full card is the beginning of something new, without boundaries, without restriction, full of possibilities, full of adventure and journeys, but no working, no tasks, no intentions, all these things that a caged lion doesn't want. I mean, they don't want to be caged. A lion doesn't. They want to be able to roam the Serengeti and go on adventures with their lioness, or whatever. And but they don't want to be told what they can or can't do, or what we can't or can't do. It's this energy of possibilities. And it is this free feeling that's just like, can't we just hang out? Can't we just go on these adventures without having to have it defined, right? And I feel like this is the kind of energy that's bubbling within them, and there's a lot of attraction. I feel like they're trying to gear up this 8 of cups, these emotions, with this in the Hanged Man position. It's like, they're trying to work through these things, emotions, but in the meantime, I just feel like they don't want any expectations because they don't want to disappoint or fail. It's very important for them in their life right now. I can't fail. And it's black or white world. I feel like they're kind of learning to swim in a world of gray. And so the energy they have is very, like they got a lot of passion, a lot of that, but they're kind of holding back and and they're looking at emotions. And so hopefully that all makes sense. But yeah, I don't see, yeah, I mean, they got huge transformation that's going on. Because on the bottom of the deck, we got the Five of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, five being the number of change and transformation. So they've got all this, you know, inner conflict that they're trying to sort through, which I understand why they're experiencing it because they're in the cocoon in this time of their life. But I feel like they kind of had it going on anyway. It's just more. Uh, there's more sensitivity to it all, if that makes sense. But because it's like when you are walking on a sore foot every day and then you take off your socks and you go to the doctor and they open up your foot, it's more sensitive, of course. And I feel like that's what's going on is they just have a heightened sensitivity as they work through this inner things that are going on in their life. So very interesting energy, but that's what they got for you. All right. So that's it for you, Infinity. Thank you again for your donation. I appreciate that. All right. Hey, Minnie Hill. Hey, everybody. Can a destined partner be avoided? Oh, I hear you, Mika. And I'll start free readings here in a second. But that's a great question that's popping up here because, you know, if it's a destiny, if it's a fated, destined relationship, no, we can't because it's destined, right? But there's not as many of those as we think there are, and if we are like regretting, like, oh God, no, I don't want to be with them, it's like, well, you know, um, look into the fear behind it and go, what are we afraid of? What is it about them that I don't like? Well, they're my mirror, and that could be why they're my distant partner too. I know my five relationships that I had, which were like 3 years and then 1 year and then 3 years and then 1 year. And then I was single for 3 years and then a 1 year. And I've been single ever since. But I know that they were there to show me something about myself. And, of course, as I was going through the heartache or the struggle, I was like, God, why did I want that? Why did I choose this? But then later I realized, oh, I see exactly why. So, trust destiny, but you know, like you said, there's um, a reason why if we're re- you know fearing getting with someone, there's fears in us. It has little to do with people out here, because out here things just exist, where chaos and disappointment and all those other delicious lower vibrational experiences, emotions happen. It's not out here. It's all the stories we're putting to it, the emotions we're choosing, the energy we're putting forward, the physical actions we're taking. Has nothing to do about that there. All that happens in this thing right here. All right. So hopefully that helps. And I don't know if that was a reading request. If it is, we'll pull cards too. But let's jump into some free readings here. And thank you guys for your patience as I was getting to those here. And so Ateshi, you are up first. So does he think about you? All right, let's take a look here. Does he think about you? I would say sometimes we've got the Two of Pentacles, which is kind of like a cycle of going back and forth, and the Queen of Swords is communication and the mind, thinking, mindset, that kind of thing. The Queen of Swords does balance between the head and the heart. So the Two of Pentacles is a balancing energy as well as the Queen of Swords. So both of these are balanced. And so I don't feel like they go, you know, crazy thinking like, I wonder what they're doing or anything like that. I think there's just thoughts come in, they think about him, and then they flow on, kind of energy. I don't feel like it's, they balance their head and their heart. So there's some emotion there, and then they think about you too. But I feel like for the most part, it feels very balanced with the rest of their life. So it doesn't seem like an extreme kind of experience from what I'm feeling. So hopefully that helps a little bit. But that's what they have for you. So many blessings, Ateshi. Then Rhonda, hello, hello. Yeah, you got in on the number 2 session, right? Missed you too. Needing a delivery from spirit. All right, we'll take a look here. So what is Matt's intentions towards you? What will be coming in the next week with him? All right, let's take a look here. Matthew, what is going on here? So what are his intentions? Okay. And what will be coming in the next week with him? All right. So intentions here. Yeah, I mean, we got the Knight of Pentacles, so the intentions are to go really slow. But the Queen of Cups, they do like this nurturing energy that you have. And, the Queen of Cups, she rolls over cups and gets a second portion of cups. So she's very, empathic, a lot of emotion, sharing emotion. And I feel like they like the nurturing, they like the attention, they like the affection, but they really, really, their intentions are to go really, really slow. Yeah. The what will be coming in the next week? You got the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles has a dual message that comes in with it. One, it's about feeling like solid foundation in the outside world, and it's like home, this feeling of home. And but at the same time, there's also this great lesson that comes in from the Four of Pentacles, which is we also realize that the outside world can't complete us. And that when we define ourselves by the outside world, we feel unstable because the outside world is unstable, right? We're taught define yourself by relationships with people of all kinds, lovers, friends, family, whatever, situations, jobs, education, whatever, and things, our bank accounts, our bodies, our possessions, right? And all of those things are unstable. And that's what, the Four of Pentacles experience is all about going, you know what? People change, people walk away, people pass away. Relationships are temporary, and with humans, it's unstable. So if I define myself by it, then I feel unstable. And then situations never stay the same. So if I define myself about my job, my education, sooner or later, that's unstable. And things break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen, all of that. And when we see that, that is like there's this um I don't know, boredom, this disappointment, this we just after a while just get tired of the instability of the outside world, and we're just like, ugh. And then we turn inward and upward and we're like, there's the only thing that I can find that's stable in this lifetime, which is the eternal, unconditional love of the creator of all things, of the spirit world. And, you know, it that when we define ourselves by that and we connect with that, then we feel solid. We don't feel like unstable like we do when we look at the outside world. And then we don't need the outside world for our stability because we find that in our core of who we are. Then everything else just becomes above and beyond extra in the outside world. And there's stability in that. So hopefully that makes sense. But I just feel like that's what's coming, this next week is you just realize, yeah, people change, people, everywhere are different, and everything is just so unstable in the external world. But the only thing we can count on, the only stable thing in the entire realm of the physical realm is from the spiritual realm, which is this unconditional love that lives right inside of us. And it's unconditional, so you can never lose it. Nothing you have to do to earn it. And it's eternal, it never ends. So that's pretty stable. So hopefully that helps with that. And it's all about the journey of finding your fullness in here, right? So hopefully that helps, Rhonda Rhonda. Many blessings to you. And then Day Sturgis, you wanted a general reading. So let's take a look here and see what does Spirit wants you to know right now. All right. So you've got the Six of Swords. So this is about moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. You even got the Four of Wands, which is joy, celebration, gatherings. And the Six of Swords is about letting go of some thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. Maybe there is something that you are being invited to that you don't want to attend, an event or a gathering, and you're like, ugh, well, if they're going to be there, I don't want to do it, or I don't even know them. I didn't want to go to that wedding, or whatever that celebration is. Ugh. But I feel like they're saying it's important for you to go to that. It's like important for you to just question your fears, question why you don't want to go, face it, and then allow it to move your mindset, which moves your decisions and actions in the outside world. And then you end up going, but then you end up having a blast and you end up meeting important people, or, you know, reacquainting with people that you haven't seen in a while. And you're like, I'm so glad I went, and I feel like this is important for you to know right now that, whatever this event that's coming up, if you haven't been invited yet, I think it'll be very soon. But it's like, I don't want to have to go through all that trouble. But it's like, no, it's important for you to, to do that. So that's your message. Just go. Right. So that's what they have for you, Day Sturgis. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we've got Dollface Diva, messages from Spirit. All right. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know right now, right now? All right. We definitely have this movement that's happening within the physical realm and having to do with beliefs around lack. The Five of Pentacles is a transformative card that takes us from feelings of feeling abandoned, left behind, out in the cold, that definitely these beliefs around lack. And the Eight of Pentacles is about, this having put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, the work, the things start churning in the outside world. And I feel like with the combination of these two together, one, you're realizing that sustenance doesn't come from humans, comes from spirit and from the spirit world. They bring us what we need in each moment, and more so. Maybe not everything our ego wants all the time, but definitely what we want plus more. They don't just bring us bread and water. They love spoiling us and bringing things, but it's them that bring it, and that's good because we realize that humans, when they get uncomfortable, their little inner child feels unsafe or out of control, they will withdraw support. And that's where we experience abandonment when we're younger because a human freaked out. But we have had everything we needed, or we wouldn't be alive right now. So we've got a great trusting relationship we can build with Creator and Spirit. And so I feel like that's kind of what's happening here is you're realizing that even though you don't know where these things happen and come from in your outside world with this Eight of Pentacles, things are starting to move. Things are going to start to unfold. All this work that you put in and this patience and really nose to the grind, suddenly all this stuff starts coming in. You're like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Well, it's coming from them. And you're like, well, a human wouldn't do this. And you're like, that's right. And I feel like that's what's coming in here is you're going to have maybe some miraculous things that come from the outside world to come out of the blue. And you're just like, where did that come from? And then it's from spirit. And so if you have a need for anything, then ask of spirit and not of man. There's this great and maybe I've shared these before, and if I did, I apologize, but they're great mantras or great observations that I put in my little book that I try to read every day. But when it comes to like abundance and resources and ideas and money and answers and all of that, it's like my all of that comes directly from spirit. The middle man, humankind, does not hold the keys to my income, my success, my abundance, getting answers. My prosperity comes directly from the divine ethers. I ask of it and no one else. And there's a great mantra that I am a magnet for money. I don't need to work hard to receive money. I simply attract it by showing up as me. And so great things in that, when we're looking at abundance and supply and answers, and you can, plug all that in there, but it's just very much a strong transformation that happens when we realize that. So I like that for you, and that's what they have for you, Dollface Diva. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue moving down the list here. All right, so Kritika Sayani, the future of your connection with Anavesh, not Anavesh, I'm just going to leave it there. I will destroy his last name. So what does Spirit want you to know about the future based on current energy, right? It can always change. All right. Well, we've got this death card coming in here with the Phoenix. I love that they have the death and rebirth and the Phoenix on here. And, we've got this Eight of Wands, which is a lot of passion, a lot of movement, a suddenness out of nowhere. I just feel like there's this, ending and then a new beginning of sorts, but I just feel like it just comes out of nowhere with here. And I do feel, this rebirth, it feels differently. It doesn't feel like it's a rebirth that takes things up. I feel like it's a rebirth that takes things lateral into a different type of relationship, if that makes sense. So it just feels like there's a transformation that happens, but it just feels different. Friend zone, like friends. It's like, well, let's try to be friends first, kind of energy is what I feel. And it's like, yeah, let's just see if this, if we can at least just be, let's try just to hang out, as friends, and let's just get to know one another again or something like that. It's that kind of energy that I feel coming in. So if that makes sense, it just feels like it's not upward, it's just kind of sideways. Well, let's go over here and let's just see what happens. Kind of energy is I kind of feel like we're there wanting to take things. So that's based on current energy here. So I feel like they want to get to take time to know who you are. So it takes it to a different transformation. I don't know how to explain it other than that. It just feels it's not ending, it's not moving up, it's moving over. It's like exploring, it's like going into another room in a house. Well, let's go see what's in there. Let's go check that out. If that's kind of energy I'm feeling. So I don't know. What does that critica? All right. But that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then JJJ, you are up. So when will you find a job and how will it be? All right, let me take a sip here. All right. So when and how will it be? All right. I love it. So your spirit guides are just being they're putting it all back on you. With the Queen of Wands is when will you find a job? Queen of Wands holds the magic wand. That's up to you. And then how will it be? King of Wands. That's up to you. The wands, and this is powerful because it's very empowering once we can get this and grasp it, right? That whatever happens in our life, we are the ones that draw it toward us, right? We're not so much like in a baby seat in the back of a car being driven around and we're at the whim of the creator and spirit and our posse and the world. It's like, well, I'm just along for the ride, right? So when am I going to get a job? When will this be? When we have a belief that that's the way life unfolds and that's how it all works. Yeah, we're asking, well, are we there yet? But then we realize, wait a minute, we're the one driving the bus. We are the ones that make choices in our life. We're the creators, co-creators of our life. Creators to our right, they're manning or left if you're in a nation that your steering wheels are on the right. I never thought of that just now. But they're like, they're to the side of us and they are the ones in charge of the navigation system that they'll plug in. They're waiting on our energy to tell them where we want to go. And they're doing the air conditioner and the heating and handing out the snacks. And then our posse, our spiritual posse, are like a bunch of puppies that are excited to go for a ride. We don't care where we're going. We're just glad we're along for the ride. But we're the ones driving it. We're the ones driving our lives. And our energy, whatever we focus on, is what we're telling the creator to navigate and direct us to. And that's when things come into our lives, is because of our energy. So if I'm focusing, let's say, on like we'll do job because that's what we're talking about. Either like I don't have a job, I don't have a job, I don't have a job, then we're telling the creator, hey, I like not having a job. So take me on the route that doesn't allow me to have a job. All right, got it. Plugged in, drive, here we go. And then we experience not having a job longer, right? Or if I feel like I'm missing something, I hate something, or maybe I fear I'll never get a job, or I fear I'll get a job I hate, or um, I focus on things I hate in my life. I'm all my energy is saying that this is what I want more of. If I want a job, I don't like the feeling of wanting a job. I want to have a job, right? So if I focus on gratitude and change my energy, I'll draw in different things. So what we can do is we can tell the universe, I would like a job and now I'm going to start having gratitude. I don't have to tell you more than once. I want a job. And so I'm going to send forth this energy to focus on gratitude for all the jobs I've had before, all the things I loved about the jobs I had before. I start changing all of that instead of focus on what I don't have. I'm grateful for what I did have, what I did enjoy, what I will enjoy, and that I trust you. And I am so grateful I can trust you that you're bringing the perfect job in the perfect time in the perfect way. And when we change that energy, that's what draws it in. That's how the when is up to us. If I stay in lower vibrational energy, I'm pushing it away from me. It takes longer to come in. When I change mine to gratitude, I draw it in sooner. And so there's this range that's happening, and that's why they gave you the king and the queen of wands. Because how it will be is also up to me. If I focus on what I hate about a job, guess what? I'm going to get more of that. If I focus on what I'm great from that job, great, I get that. So how the job will be for me and how it will be is totally up to me too. So I love the empowerment that comes in here because I gave you both royals that rule over our manifestation, our energy, and whatever like attracts like, whatever we focus on is what grows. So I feel like that's what they want you to know. It's all up to you. When? I don't know when. When are we going to go there? When are we going to get a job? What is it going to be like? I don't know. What is it going to be like? And so they're putting it on you because you're the one that gets to decide. And I love that. So that's what's coming in for you, JJJ. So many blessings to you. All right. continue moving down the list here. And we got faith and love. Hi. So, can you tell me about your current romantic situation and how the future looks? All right. So, let's see here. What does Spirit want you to know? Your current situation and how the future looks. So, current situation, well, it looks like very good. You have the sun here, and it's one of the most victorious cards in the entire deck. It also shines light on a lot of things. So, your current romantic situation, it's going to show you things that you want to see about yourself, and your inner child is there too. I don't know if you can see the little face there. Let's see, try to get it to focus here. Maybe it's right there though. There's a little baby face that's there. That's your little inner child in there. And so it shines light into our innards, into our subconscious, into the realm of the inner child too. And it brings things forward, it brings things up to look at. People, relationships with humans are always mirrors, regardless if it's friends, family, lovers, whatever, workmates. We are all mirrors for one another. And so, it feels very bright, it feels very beautiful, it feels very passionate. Um, but there's a lot of stuff that's also will be coming up for you to look at so you can transform it. So you can take it off of your little inner child has this whole, full of all these emotions that they want to, you know, um, take these off my hands. I've been holding them for years. And so we're like, oh, sorry, here, let me take one for you. Let me look at that. And okay, I'll transform that. And then we take another one. And you're just slowly taking off these charged emotions off of their out of their hands. So I like all that for you. How the future looks. Yeah, you got the world card. Victorious. So you got two pretty powerful major arcana cards here. And the world card is about endings and beginnings, about a ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. One that's more free from rules and restrictions and supposed to be's and should be's and all that. And I like it. The future, if you can let go of expectations as much as you can, then you'll tend to focus more on what you're grateful for in someone instead of where they're falling short. If we have a lot of expectations that we put on someone, we're judging. They're, this is my expectations. This is where they're at. We focus on lack, right? But if I take my expectations and take them to almost nothing, look, I focus on all the abundance of who they are instead. So I like that for you. And that's what I want you to know right now. Just enough, just enough. All right. So that is what they have for you, faith and love. So many blessings to you. All right. Let me just take a look here, make sure I'm not skipping over anyone. Okay, we did those. We did those. Itch. Okay. Okay. We did those. All right. Ah, very good. I'm glad that helped. Yeah, it is. It's what sucks the life out of relationships, right? Expectations supposed to be, should be, need to be. Instead of it's like, yeah, can you imagine a relationship where we just only focus on what we're grateful for in someone and we communicate it specifically with examples every day? Then it's like, woohoo. So I like that. And then, oh, hey, Rhonda, you're so very welcome. Yeah, I hear you, Rhonda. All right. So up the next free reading up will be Yushi Wasthi. I probably did not pronounce that correct, but I do have a donation. First Infinity, thank you for your additional donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. And current energy messages from Spirit. Yes. So let's take a look here. Current energy. Did want that. Oh, there's 3 2. Okay. I like this feeling of uh you know like out of order, because you got 2 cards and then 3 cards and then 1 card. Usually it's 1 2 3 or 3 2 1, but we've got 2 3 1. It's like, wait a minute, why is the beginning, you know or why is the second part coming before the first part, or the last part? It's like, why is this? It feels like there's just some stuff that's not unfolding in order, if that makes sense. Bottom of the deck, you do have the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords is about becoming aware of our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that steal from us, that deceive us, that um, don't allow us to experience some things we want to experience, right? And I like that. I mean, you've discovered 3 out of the 7 up here, but they're showing here there's 4 down here below that are still below the surface, right? And is there another little deer? Is that a sheep? I think it's a sheep. There's a sheep and a fish, and oh, that's a pond. That's why. It's under the water. It's under the surface. These are lily pads, and there's a fish swimming. And this is their seeing their reflection. So this is when they were a young doe, or not a young doe, but a young deer, a young buck. And so it shows here this energy below the surface. So it's like, oh, okay. So there's some reflection that's coming up with this energy, and it's great because that's how we learn, by looking at the reflection and reflecting. And if we don't, we don't have any um, you know growth. We don't have any freedom. We stay restricted. And so we have the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like the 3 of the Swords here, this is realizing that, we can't be our heart can't be broken, truly. We can feel like it, but it can't be. And when we realize the story of the 3 of Pentacles, it brings us this Ace of Pentacles. I mean, not 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords brings us the Ace of Pentacles, which is new opportunities that come in the outside world. And what I mean by the revelations of the 3 of Swords is that, and we might have talked about this before, so I apologize if we did, but it's like the prick in our heart that feels like heartbreak is just our body going into fight or flight mode. We're scared. And it's not that we're physically scared or startled by something, we're emotionally startled by something. And the thing is, when we're physically startled by something, like a cat jumps out of nowhere, we're like, oh my God. Oh, okay, it's just a cat. Whew, that stops. But emotional, it's like, oh, they hate me, I'm unlovable. That emotional fear just keeps looping because we didn't resolve it in that moment. We didn't do deep reflection and resolve it. So it keeps repeating till we get distracted by something, and then we forget that feeling because we're distracted. Our body calms down. We're not in fight or flight. So we're like, oh, okay, da 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 da. And then suddenly we remember, oh, the text I got from them breaking up with me. Oh, I'm unlovable. Pew, there goes the heart, rotating again. And then I go home and then I cook dinner and then I fall asleep. And I forget. I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for today. And oh, I look at my phone and oh, there's that text from them again. Oh, and then here we go again. And that's why heartache and heartbreak feel like it's a pain, but it's just a looping fear that's going over and over. And when we realize it's just fear, and then we can look at our fears, we can transform our fears, and then we don't have that energy that kicks in, which is cool. Let's see what else here. Yeah. So again, we've got here's the 10 of Swords, which is a great card. The 10 of Swords is like, I'm sick and tired of trying to please everyone and live up to all these rules of conditional love. Screw them all. They're out the door. I'm going to be me. And so there is a point we get into our life where we're like, I can't do it. I give up. And like, good. And whenever my friends tell me, I just can't take it anymore. I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad." And they're like, "Why are you so happy about it for?" Because you're ready to let go now. Now you can stop trying to please everyone and be you. And they're, this is freeing. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. When we get to the point where I just can't take it anymore, it's like, well, then what's the worst you could do? Like I almost killed myself over it. So I understand it can get to the point where you're just like so scared, so I'm gonna let everyone down and everyone's gonna hate me and God's gonna hate me and everyone's gonna, no one's gonna talk to me. I'm gonna die on the edge of the woods and get eaten by wolves. It's like, really? But we get to that point and then we realize what's the worst that can happen? I could die. Well, I don't need to kill myself then. Let me at least give it a try. And then the freedom that comes with, I don't care if I let people down. That's their opinion and their choice of opinion, not mine. I'm gonna live my life. And then there's freedom that comes with that. And it is this Queen of Cups getting in tune with our emotions. So this is triggering the freedom that comes as we escape from the cage of these supposed to's and shoulds and need to's, all these small teachers rooted in fear, so that I get to expand who I am. I not who I am, but the realization of who I am. Because we're already perfect mountains. We just come down here as little humans to walk around the mountain of the perfect us to find out who we are. And so we get revelations of, oh wow, this is who I am. And this Queen of Cups has to do with empathic abilities, connection to spirit, spiritual gifts that get also activated. And you have the Princess of Pentacles. So the page, you have the Ace of Pentacles and now the Page of Pentacles, which are all about heightened opportunities that are able to come in and unfold through all this change of energies. Here's the Three of Cups. Three of Cups, joy, celebration, and also represents your spiritual posse of support. And so the energy definitely is that you have this, wonderful host of beings that are supporting you in this journey and on this adventure. You're never, ever, ever alone. But they do honor your free will. You just have to ask them of your own free will to, you know, do things. Otherwise, they are just letting us figure it out. It's like a 2-year-old wanting to pour milk on its cereal the first time. Let me do it. I'm like, well, they need to learn, so let them do it, and we'll just go get the mop and the paper towels and get ready for the cleanup. This is their first time, but you let them. We do let them know if you need help. Just let me know. I'm going to let you do it, but just let me know if you need help. And that's what spirit does. Is they're like, well, we'll be there for you if you need us, but it's your experience, so we're going to let you be the one to ask us when you need help, when you need answers, when you need clarity, and just ask us and we'll be there. And they do remind us, like they'll show us repeating numbers and synchronicities just as a little bit about like to remind us, oh, they're behind me, oh yeah, you guys can help me, thank you for reminding me that you're there, but they won't meddle without us asking. So I like it. I'm glad you like that. And thank you for your additional sticker here. Get good, get good. And thank you for the donation. So, are things getting better with you and M&D? Do they care about you personally as a person? M&D. All right. Let's take a look here. Of course, people can only care about us personally as a person if they care about themselves as a person first, right? They can't give us something they don't have for themselves. Let's see. I'm just going to take another sip here. I'm feeling parched today. All right. So are things... Well, things are perfect between the two of you, but I feel like do you feel things are you growing closer, right? Because that's really what we mean by better, because every moment is always perfect. It just may not be matching up to our expectations, right? So those are expectations kicking in again, right? So I love Byron Katie. If you ever have a chance to check her out. She's got a YouTube channel too, but her website is thework.com, THEWORK.com. But it's like, she goes, you know how you know that something's supposed to be happening? No, how? Because it's happening. You're like, oh, that really makes sense. It's a freeing revelation, right? All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what we got going on. So overall, between you guys, you do have the moon. So, there is this hidden and unknown emotions that are bubbling to the surface. So there's a lot below the surface that none of you know about each other, and you don't know what each other have gone through, have had experiences that have unfolded, and so we have no idea what someone is able to offer or not, because we don't know how much they truly love themselves or not, right? So I like this moon energy because this moon is about spiritual energy too. And when we realize that I can only love others to the extent I love myself, or receive love from others to the extent I love myself, then it's best for the collective of humanity and everyone involved, including myself, to turn inward and upward and expand my unconditional love for myself, my self-worth for myself. And then I find that, oh, what I've been looking for all along, I find in here too, which is the unconditional love of all. That's what we're hungry for. The outside world can't, give us that, right? Let's take a look here. Are things getting better? All right. I would say they are, because you've got the Ace of Wands, which is a new passion, new spark. You got the Ten of Pentacles, which is fullness of life and abundance, and the Two of Cups, important relationships. All these are very positive cards when it comes to relationship with someone. Um, and I don't these don't feel like they're would be romantical. If they are, then this would be romantical as well, but this feeling of fullness and wholeness and importance, I feel like there is this spark that's drawing things together with all of this here. Let's see what these other cards are here, because you were wondering, if do they care about you personally? Yeah. You. Okay. So I do want to do these ones first. They are also, because here's that Seven of Swords we talked about, right? So they're also going through all this, and the Knight of Pentacles is that's slowly happening, because it's given you all an opportunity to work on these small T truths that's where conflict happens. We have expectations. This person has expectations. This person has expectations, and none of them match. Perfectly. We have similar ones here and there, but we've got a lot of. That's why there's war. If everyone believed the same thing, then there would be no problem. But we all have different opinions and different expectations that are bouncing around below the surface. And that's what causes conflict, right? And wars and all that fun stuff. So they're working on their own beliefs and thoughts that deceive them and cheat them out of things. And then you got the Two of Swords and the Five of Wands. So, as they learn to close their eyes and open their hearts, get out of those expectations. And the Five of Wands is a transformation that comes in here of, it's like energy that fills of fear into something more loving. So as we face those small teachers and those fears and those expectations, then I don't have as many fears, and I trigger less and less and less. The more triggers I dismantle, because I question, why does that upset me? Like, one of my big pet peeves used to be someone interrupting me. Oh my gosh. You had to think someone farted on me. I was like, because what was inside was, this, oh, what I have to say is not important. you are more important than me. And so I would shut down and I wouldn't talk anymore. And they'd be like, "What's the matter?" Oh, no, go ahead. You keep talking. You obviously have more important things to say than I do. I know. I used to be a little pisser back in the day, years and years ago. But um, when I realized that it had to do with me feeling like, oh, I felt unworthy and it hurt my feelings. It didn't hurt my feelings. I allowed it to hurt me. I chose the story I put is what hurt me, not what they were doing. It's the story I put to it that hurt me. And so I hurt myself. And then when I realize, yeah, no, they're just passionate about what they want to say, just like I'm passionate about me, I can let them talk. Or I can, in a loving way, say, I'm sorry, I do want to hear what you have to say, but do you mind if I finish saying what I was saying first? And they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna forget what I have to say." And I'm like, "Oh, well, then you go ahead. I'll remember what I have to say." And I'm like, "Oh, so that's why they were," because they're like, "I'm so forgetful. I won't remind it." And I go, "Well, here, write it down on a piece of paper," or you work it out, and when you start to change it, that trigger goes away. Um, or it lessens because every once in a while people will interrupt me even to this day, and I'll be like, and I'll feel the "Root," and I'm like, no, 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 you little inner child, you're okay, come here, I'm listening to you. We're okay. That they don't mean it, come here, boo boo boo. But we do have this transformation and this change that happens with that. So I like that. So hopefully that helps. But I do feel like things are growing, but they're working on themselves. And as you work on yourself and they're working on themselves, everything gets better automatically. And by better, it's the vibration is rising to something more unconditionally loving instead of lower vibrational of fear. And things automatically change because the energy is changing. But if we stay stuck in our lower vibration, then things don't change. That's the way it works in this world, right? All right. You are very good. Welcome. And thank you again so much for your donations, your multiple donations. I really appreciate that. I'm just going to grab a print screen, not a print screen, a screenshot here, because I'm going to be headed off here in about 5 minutes. I am going to get Brenda in. And then I will come back. I see I've got like maybe a couple of handfuls, or maybe, let's say I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And we did that one, 5, 6, 7. So I got about 7 people. So that won't take me too long. I'll go and head off and spend about an hour with my praying mantis members, and then I'll jump back on and do a short session and just finish out any fear readings that I did not get to. So I will get to them tonight. It'll just be about an hour and 15 minutes or hour and a half, depending on how much I spend with my praying mantis members. So Brenda, hello, hello. Thank you so much for your hearts and your donation. Appreciate that. And let's take a look here. So for tonight, about love, what does Spirit wants you to know? What about love? Okay. Oh, that one wanted to pop out there, and that one too. All right. What is all this? What's going on here? So let's take a look here, Brenda. So I don't want to look at that card in the bottom of the deck yet. So we have the King of Pentacles. So we do have this energy coming in here of groundedness and someone really down to earth, and so very earth signy, but just very grounded. I like this calmness about this. I guess assume this is a person. It feels like a person. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Devil card. So we got Capricorn energy. So are they a Capricorn? It's an earth sign. Very Capricorn energy. So big thinker, grounded, but also a big thinker and really focused on very specifics, right? I know I have a Capricorn rising. I love my spreadsheets and my tasking. When I get into tasking, you know, but I just feel this energy coming in. 10 of Cups, very good. A lot of emotion being felt here, joy, celebration, feeling of overflowing emotion. So it feels very fulfilling here so far. Should we stop? You got you got 4 more cards. Do you want to stop or should we continue? I'm just, you're like, it's like Price is Right. Do you want to go with what you have or behind curtain number 2? So just be, be true to your authentic self with the 3 of Pentacles. Don't try to be someone you're not. And the 6 of Pentacles is be aware of codependency, right? That tendency to overgive that I think we probably have talked about it before, but we definitely have this, just be aware of that you don't have to overgive, that you are worthy just as you are. You don't have to earn being worthy. You just are automatically because you're of your true authentic self. So you don't have to overgive. You can focus on allowing equal give and receive with that. And then, well. And then you've got the Emperor and the Lover's card. So very much an important relationship, very emotionally bonded here. The Emperor is about deciding what you want and you choosing, you taking action, you formulating. And so I like that they bring the love back to, you don't have to, it's not about what the other person only feels. It's what you feel, what you want, what you desire. And so, and where the relationship goes, where love goes, where the evening goes, you have a say so in it too. You rule your kingdom. It's like like an emperor of one kingdom and an empress of another kingdom coming together. It's like the empress doesn't bow to the emperor. No, you rule a whole kingdom. It's what do I want? And it's this great, equalness, not bowing down to the other individual. So the card on the bottom of the deck, just because I talked about it, 5 of Swords is the struggle between the head and the heart going on in here. So just be aware of your inner battle, between what your heart wants and what you know, your mind is saying, the supposed tos and the shoulds and the fears and all those things. It's like just allow your heart to let it out of its cage to have, uh, a journey and an adventure, right? Just keep a long leash on it. But I feel like that's what you need to know for tonight. So hopefully that makes sense, Brenda. All right. So many, many blessings to you. Again, thank you for your donation. All right. All right, everybody. So I'm going to head off here for about an hour and 50 minutes, hour and a half, and I'll be back to finish out the handful of free readings. And I did get Liliana, I did get your question there as well. So we'll get you in to the free readings when I come back. And thank you guys again for all the thumbs up and for all the love and support. Really appreciate you guys. And if in the meantime, while you're waiting, I have a ton of content on my main page. In fact, we just had July's come out today, July's monthly. So if you want to know about July, here's the link there. And then we also have June's. If you haven't checked out June's, here's June's. So just for convenience here. Oops, the other one didn't post anything, did it? Let's try that again. There we go. I was like, why was that blank? um, and also have a free podcast that talks all about from chaos to cozy if you want to check any of those out or catch up. So those are some of the free things I offer, and there's a ton of other free content on the main page too. Yeah, we had cancer season come out this week too. So here's a pick a card from this week. So a lot of free stuff if you want to check those out. So until I see you guys again, remember, every second of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, enjoy the rest of your day or your night, wherever you might be in the world. Until I see you, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you soon.